And we're live. Testing, testing, testing. Check, check, check. Is this thing on this time? I bet it is because I don't see where it said before that the mic wasn't on. And show business, right? The show must go on. I just spoke for a good, I don't know, 45 seconds to a minute before somebody commented and said, we can't hear you because my mic was not on in the software. The mic was on here. The mic wasn't on there. Anyhow, here we are. We're back. Hello, Raquel. Thank you for letting us know that the audio was not working. And here we are. Welcome back. It's another beautiful and exciting day. And since I'm going to delete the last transmission, I can repeat what I just said, and none of you are the wiser. Fresh haircut, fresh shower in the middle of the afternoon. And we're a few minutes late now because this is take 2. But we are also a few minutes late because we are jamming things in here every single day. Hey, what's happening, Colin? How are you? NYC in the house. Grateful to have all of you with me. This is one of my favorite shows because I get to tell you that we are 100% in stock. Ooh, that feels really, really good. So not only are we in stock, but last Tuesday, you can just rewind by scrolling through the timeline, whether you're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, rather. You can scroll back in our timeline and you can see last week's update when we had just received 40 sound lounges and 15 practitioners. We have now received everything. We have shipped everything. So if you're waiting for an order, you should have gotten a notification Friday or yesterday that your order is in transit, and you should have tracking numbers for your boxes. The practitioner and the sound lounge all ship or both ship in multiple boxes. The sound lounge has 2 boxes. The practitioner has 3 boxes. So make sure you have 3 FedEx tracking numbers and everything's on the way. If it isn't, reach out to us and let us know what's going on. And we are standing by to make sure that you are taken care of. But so far, so good. So this is really exciting. So we are in stock for the sound lounge, the practitioner, and the inHarmony meditation cushion. I have 18 sound lounges left. So that just goes to show you what kind of couple months we've had and what kind of weekend we had as well, because we shipped 22 sound lounges in the last 2 days, which is very exciting. And I'm down to 5 practitioners. We shipped 10 in the last few days. So it's a very exciting time. We've got over 500 meditation cushions in stock. We just placed our largest order for sound lounges and practitioners that's being manufactured as we speak to take delivery in March and April so that we can keep up with this amazing demand that we have created, which is absolutely brilliant. And now we're getting ready to place an even bigger order. So that's 2 record-breaking orders, pretty much back to back, which won't deliver until June as well. So just starting to manage the supply chain and all of the different inputs that it takes for us to produce all of this incredible technology, because we've been busy. Very spectacular. Raquel Figlo, if anybody needs somebody to help them with PR, Raquel is our gal. Give a comment. I'm sure she'll follow up with you. Just can't get her too busy that she can't help us, because she's been amazing and absolutely fantastic. We're going to talk about our media day, which is coming up. Raquel, I love you. I appreciate you. You just called me with more great news. Raquel really is just an absolute workhorse, and it's a lot of fun. So there's her name again, and super grateful. So we want to talk about inventory. That's obviously one of the biggest updates. We're going to deep dive into our music today. I want to talk an awful lot about our app. I'm actually going to pull up our app and do a screen share. I'm actually going to show you exactly, give you a little tour around the app, talk a little bit about the different music that's in there. We're going to get to that in a moment. For those of you that are subscribed to us via email, you will notice that we have a new email cadence, which is to say that we are sending emails now twice per week. Every Tuesday and every Friday, you're going to receive an email from us. Now, here's the catch. If you're not getting our emails, you need to go back and open up one of my emails, because we are no longer sending emails to the 22,000 email addresses that we have in our list. This is very important. We are no longer sending emails to all 22,000 emails that are on our list. In fact, quite the opposite. We are now trunking down and only sending emails to people who have recently opened our emails. We're also going to be putting together an unsubscribe email flow, which is going to reach out to you and say, hey, you haven't opened one of our emails in the last 6 months. We totally get it. If you'd like to be unsubscribed, please do nothing. If you'd like to stay subscribed, please reply to this email and let us know that you'd like to stay. Otherwise, we are going to start cleaning our email list. Too many email addresses that are on there. There's about 6,000 or 7,000 or so that no longer open our emails. So we don't want to send you emails anymore. We don't want to waste our energy. We want to cleanse and clean that list and remove you from our database. That means on Tuesday, we're going to be sending an email out to our 10-day openers. Anybody that's opened an email from us in the last 10 days is going to receive that. And then on Friday, we're going to send that email out to 6-month openers. So anybody that's opened an email from us in the last 6 months. This is all an effort to make sure that we're bringing highly relative content to people who want to see it, who want to read it. And if that's not you, that's totally cool. Hopefully you're watching our lives. In fact, if you saw this message, you're watching our lives. So if you get your updates here and email isn't your thing, that's super okay. If you do want to get signed up, inHarmony.com is the website that you want to go to. And then you want to scroll all the way down to the footer and you want to put your email address in there. And then you want to obviously confirm your email address and get signed up. So if you are interested in getting our emails, you can sign up on our website, inHarmony.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and put your email address in there for us to start sending you emails. And then of course, you got to read them. You got to open them. You got to read them. You got to stay connected. You got to stay in touch. And that's who we're going to be emailing. So we got a couple new email cadences happening and a few shifts and changes that are happening there as well. I had mentioned Media Day and the very spectacular Raquel Figlo. Raquel's amazing. We are doing a Media Day on Thursday. It is obviously specific for media. All of our slots are full. We have 2 hours. We have a bunch of one-on-ones and all of our slots are slow. We've got, let's see, Modern Luxury is going to be there. The Pulse SD is going to be there. We have reps coming from Fox 5 News. It's going to be a very exciting day, and we know that this is something that's really going to catalyze a lot of change because there's a lot of thirst in the marketplace for what we're doing right now. I've been doing 3 podcasts a week, which I know I've mentioned to you. By the way, head over to our website, inHarmony.com, and at the top, you're going to see a new menu, shop, learn, reviews, and how to become an affiliate. Under the Learn tab, you'll find a menu item for podcasts. And as these podcasts are coming up, we're going to post them on there. So you don't have to travel all over the place. Although I just learned this on Apple Podcast, I am now searchable. You can search Craig Goldberg or inHarmony Interactive, and you will see 7 or 8 different podcasts that I've recorded. So it's really exciting to start getting the voice out there, to start getting the name out there. And more importantly, the reception that we're having in all of these different audiences has been absolutely remarkable. It is absolutely fueling our growth. And it's something that we are very, very, very excited. The people do need to know about inHarmony Interactive. That's right. We got good stuff going on, no doubt. So we got Media Day. I'm literally leaving tomorrow morning. What you can't see behind me is that all of my stuff is packed up, the cushions, the sound lounges, the practitioner, all of the event stuff. It's all getting piled in the truck tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. I leave to San Diego, and I will be there until Thursday evening after our Media Day. I then come home. I'm going to take a nice little vacation if I can do that. I don't know that I can, but my parents are coming in for 6 days, so that's going to be exciting. And then I dropped them off at the airport, and I'm off to Phoenix for the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. Another fantastic opportunity that was brought to us through Raquel, and that is Media Row. Media Row. And for the Super Bowl, baby, I'm super stoked. I feel like a kid. This is really something that's always been something that's been a big part. We've always watched the Super Bowl as a family. And here I am taking our technology to the Super Bowl to talk about mental health, to collaborate and work with one of our most amazing affiliates, Advanced Wellness and Pain, which is a ketamine clinic down in Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale more specifically, that has fully integrated inHarmony technology into everything they do. So we're talking about psychedelic therapy. We're talking about ketamine. We're working specifically with 3 anesthesiologists that have now left their work in the surgery room and are now working specifically with ketamine because of its high levels of efficacy in treating treatment-resistant anxiety, treatment-resistant depression, and of course, treatment-resistant PTSD. These are people, these are clients and patients that have tried everything, the full gamut, and haven't been able to find success in getting a treatment that works effectively. And we're talking about one round of ketamine IV, And we're seeing a 70% efficacy. With the addition of inHarmony technology, the team at Advanced Wellness and Pain is seeing upwards of 85% efficacy. So a 15% bump. It's very powerful medicine. When you take that medicine and you work along with vibroacoustic therapy, it's incredibly powerful. Calls are the best of the best. Follow us here on Instagram. Actually, we're going to be doing Instagram lives direct from Radio Row. And of course, James and I are going to be talking a lot about this. We have a new psychedelic spotlight coming out here in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be further talking about our place with psychedelic therapy. This is something that's really, really big. We're flying down, obviously, or driving down rather, to Phoenix. We've got Media Row and Media Day on Friday. Saturday, we're going to be showcased in the VIP lounge, BrainLounge, for Leigh Steinberg's 36th annual event, which is hosted in the host city for the Super Bowl. It's always the day before the Super Bowl. And like I said, this is the 36th year that they're doing it. We are honored and excited to be a part of it. If you're in and around Phoenix, let us know. And this is something that you're going to see some good footage from. And obviously, we're going to be able to speak to the media and really talk about getting our voice out there. It's something that's really, really exciting for me. So the Super Bowl is going to be a big deal. Now I want to deep dive into our app, and I want to do so for the next 5-10 minutes. The first things first is I want to present, and I want to share my screen. And let's see if we can share a window. And it looks like we can. And let's see what happens. And there we go. So, and you can see my mouse. That's amazing. Okay. So what you're looking at here on the right, and let's see if we can change this a little bit. Can we change this a little bit? We can. All right. So what you're looking at right here is our app. I actually think it's a little bit easier to see if we do that. I know I'm a little smaller, but it's a little bigger, and that's a little bit more exciting for me. And you can see my mouse. Okay, so this is our app. This is what our app looks like on the iPhone. It's also what it looks like on Android. And if you have a MacBook Pro that has the M1 chip, remember Apple started making its own chips a couple of years ago. If you have one of those laptops, I happen to be blessed with one of them. You can actually run iPhone apps on your computer. So for a lot of you that have been asking if you can run our app through a web browser, which we are going to roll out at some point in 2023, there is one way that you can do that, and you can actually play tracks, you can play music, and it works, and it's very exciting. So this is one way that you can enjoy our app on your computer. Otherwise, you need an iPhone or you need an Android phone. So I want to talk about the myriad of music that's in here. There's 230 tracks in our app right now and growing. The very spectacular Anthony Weiss, aka Home, is now our full-time content creator, and we're really excited to have him in that role. We're really excited to have and see what he's been turning out. We're going to show you some of that today. But if you just pull up the home screen and you scroll through the home screen, you're going to find 220 tracks, and there are many of them. This is a little overwhelming. I do have some videos that shows you how we can do this and how you can sort it. And it all happens right here through the filter. So once you go into the filter, you can sort by duration. You can sort by category, inHarmony original music. And there are many different categories for you to choose from. There are ways for you to come up with nothing, though. For example, if you went into, let's see, if you went into Cocoon Alpha and you did greater than 60 minutes and you hit search, nothing would come up because we don't have any alpha tracks that are more than 66 minutes. So you need to be very careful with exactly how you're sorting this music. I'm going to hit clear. I'm going to hit apply, and I'm going to come back to my home screen exactly where it's at now. One of the things that we just changed in the app this week is we now changed the default sort so that it's no longer shortest first, because that's how it used to be. It is now newest first. Newest first is the default. So this is what your app is going to look like when you come in. This gives you a little bit of a changing tile setup here at the top because Abundance is a track that we just released last week. Now, one of the things that I want to show you as far as best practice is to always download the track. You see this downward arrow on the top right, that indicates that track is not downloaded. I'm going to click it. You're going to see this download bar that shows you the status of how fast you're downloading the track and what the status of that track is. It's a 13-minute track. It's relatively complex. Even on my high-speed internet, it still takes some time to download. Once that's done downloading, you're going to get a check mark, and that check mark is going to basically tell the app no longer to go towards our servers through your internet connection in order to get access to this track. It is instead going to have a local copy on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, that it's then going to be able to reference. This removes a lot of potential pitfalls. It's not just the speed of your internet connection, it's congestion on your network, it's your phone processor speed, it is congestion on our servers as well, which have been getting hit more and more and more in a very positive way. So best practice is to download the track prior to pushing play and making sure you have a check mark here in the top right corner. And of course, you can scroll through and you can see all of the different tracks that we have here based on how you have it sorted here. Now, our inHarmony original music, we get a lot of questions. So I'm actually going to change this to oldest first, and then I'm going to change this to less than 15 minutes, and I'm going to go into our inHarmony original music. This is really the core of our offering, historically anyway. It's our offering has gotten much bigger, which I'm going to show you today. But our 10 solfeggio frequency tracks range from 174, 285, 396, 417, 432, 528, 639, 741, 852, and 963. And then, of course, step 1 and step 2, which is really the featured tracks. And it's really where we want you to start. And then, of course, releasing anger, Brent's spectacular track here. These are all part of our core offering. And these 10 solfeggio frequency tracks, by the way, are aligned with that particular chakra. Connected to higher self, 963 is the crown. That's why it's purple. 852 is third eye. That's why it's blue. A lighter blue for throat, and that is 741. And then, of course, 639, right? So all these different tracks, you can see they're kind of color-coded, and that is why these tracks are very, very, very interchangeable. There's no one track for any single condition. The music that we've recorded is broad spectrum, which means it has a multitude of different frequencies embedded in it. However, these tracks are tuned to 174 hertz. So all of the musical instruments that are used in this track are tuned to 174 hertz. And this gets into a little bit of the conversation around 440 versus 432. For those of you that are familiar, back in the early 1900s, all music started to be tuned, classical music started to be tuned to 440 A in 440 instead of one octave lower of A in 432. The jury is still out. The debate is very hot on this. I don't have an opinion that I can share with you, but the same concept, whereas symphony, the lead violinist will stand up and she will hold an A and the entire string section will tune to that A, and then the clarinet will stand up and tune to an A and the entire brass section will tune to that A. In the same manner as the entire symphony orchestra tuning to that frequency, so too did Anthony do that as he's recording this music. So this track is tuned to 174, this one to 285, this one to 396, this one to 417, etc., etc. So while each of these tracks has a specific intention, and we mention that here, this removes negativity and facilitates change, there are many different things that it can do for you. And vibroacoustic therapy as a whole has a tremendous impact on your physiology as well. So work your way through these tracks, explore the app, test and play with what you like. I find myself doing a lot of 639. I find myself doing a lot of 963. I find myself going back and playing and with different tracks depending on what's going on. I tend to use some of the deeper frequencies like 174 prior to body work or right after body work, right? So you'll start to develop your own cadence and you'll start to develop your own loves for our music. That's the inHarmony original music. And these tracks come in 11 minutes, 22 minutes, 33 minutes, and they are the same tracks. They're just longer. And they also come in 66 minutes. So these tracks go all the way out greater than 60 minutes. You hit search and boom, you've got inHarmony music that's over an hour. Pretty amazing. We do have one track that's in here. It is Breath of the Wind. And I want to show you another way that you can search. So I'm clearing the search, going back to apply. And the other way that you can search is if you know the track name or if you know the frequency you're looking for, you can just type it into the search term and hit enter. And this is Breath of the Wind, which is another spectacular, spectacular track. And of course, dynamic breath work as well, which we'll talk about in a second. So this Breath of the Wind comes in 11 minutes, 22 minutes, 33 minutes, 66 minutes, and 2 hours, 1 hour and 22 minutes and 22 seconds. This is a fantastic track. I listen to this track regularly. I love to fall asleep with this track. I listen to it at night and let the 2-hour track run through. Sometimes I just throw it on and I let it play throughout the house, throughout the day as well. And then our dynamic breath work by the very spectacular Ben Holt. This breath work is phenomenal. It's designed to be on the meditation cushion, the sound lounge of the practitioner while you're sitting up or laying down. I highly recommend this track. It's one that I do on a regular basis. I got a lot of love and a lot of admiration for Ben and what he's done here. In order to clear this, all you do is hit the X on the iPhone, and it might work a little differently iPhone to Android, but generally speaking, the functionality is going to be there. And then we're back to our home screen, which is now sorted again by shortest track. And then we go back to our default of newest track and then search. And this is going back to what this is going to look like for you. Now, we've got a few more tracks that I want to share with you, and I'm going to focus predominantly on the category. I'm going to go back to shortest first or oldest first, and because that'll give you the ones that we released first. And I want to go into inHarmony original music we just talked about. The Cocoon Wellness Suite is a culmination of all of the alpha, theta, delta, gamma, and SMR tracks. So we're going to talk about each one of these as well as when to use them. Cocoon Alpha tracks, these are basically, we have a partnership with BrainTap. If you're not familiar with BrainTap, they make a headset and they encode their music with 10 different encodings. They use 10 cyclosynchronic tones. They have red LED therapy and blue LED therapy on the ears. They have a visor that has flashing lights that entrains your brain. And they also have audio cues that are embedded into the music. Those audio cues are designed to hold your brain and train your brain into a different brainwave state. And there are 5 main brainwave states, which you can see right here: alpha, theta, delta, gamma, and SMR. So I'm going to talk about each one of these in brief, and then you can go in and then also give you times when I use them, because I see we're at 22 minutes. I want to keep this relatively short. Alpha, so we basically have 5 brainwaves. You're sitting in a beta brainwave, eyes open. Below that is alpha. Below that is theta. Below that is delta. Above that is gamma. And then SMR is sensory motor signal. And that's a little bit different. We don't sit in that throughout the day, but I'll talk about that in just a moment. So I use alpha and theta pretty much all the time during the day. Doesn't matter what time. It's not overly stimulating for me. Instead, I'm training my brain how to move from beta, eyes open, processing the world around you, into alpha. And you really want to start with alpha. You want to train your brain on how to move from beta into alpha, alpha into beta, and move back and forth. Then you can start layering in some of these theta tracks, again, whichever solfeggio frequency you'd like, but you do want to start moving your way from beta into theta. And of course, we gradually walk you through alpha into theta. And I use those throughout the day. Delta, I save for a very specific time. And that is when I'm absolutely exhausted. I mean, like, I've been up for 24 hours and I need rest. I'll go into delta, but I save it for the moments right before I'm about to go to bed. So I'll use it in the evening, 20, 30 minutes before I'm about to go to bed. I'll pop on a delta track just to help my brain get into that deep brainwave state and show it how to get there. I'm generally pretty groggy when I get up. So I will get up and I will go straight into bed, but I save delta for really end of the evening. Gamma, I love gamma mid-morning. If I'm going to do a mid-morning session or prior to work, gamma is associated with higher thoughts of consciousness, higher streams of consciousness. And I like gamma for that mid-afternoon rest, mid-afternoon relaxation. With psychedelic therapy, gamma is wonderful, absolutely fantastic. I really like this track. We have 66-minute versions of gamma in the app. It's a first of our 66-minute tracks to be coded by BrainTap. So that's really exciting. So gamma I save for mid-morning, mid-afternoon as a nice pick-me-up. It could be a little stimulating. So it really gets the thoughts going. It really gets the brain moving. Remember, it's a higher brainwave state than what we're usually in, eyes open, processing the world around us. SMR is the sensory motor signal. And this is like a digital cup of coffee. You're only going to find these tracks in 11-minute versions. It's really all you need. What you're going to find is that this really does give you a pep in your step. It really does give you a zing. The coolest part about all of these Cocoon and Brain Tap tracks is that you don't need the Brain Tap headset in order to enjoy them. They all have audio cues embedded in the music as well. So it's not just about the flickering lights that are entraining the brain. There are sounds. You'll hear like you will hear a sound that your brain begins to entrain to, and that's working. You'll also hear some crackling and a couple of other sounds that are included within those tracks specifically that is all designed to entrain your brain. So I highly recommend diving into these as well. Then we have our frequency experiences, which I'm going to show you here as well. And these are taken from formal vibroacoustic therapy tracks. However, they are not vibroacoustic therapy tracks. This is not just 30 hertz, 40 hertz, 60 hertz, 68 hertz. These are broad spectrum frequency tracks. But 40 hertz and 30 hertz, these are two of my go-tos. I will actually put this on, not using my headphones, and just lay on the sound lounge while I'm texting, reading, or listening to a podcast. 40 hertz is absolutely phenomenal for so many different aspects. It's just a really fantastic and very enjoyable frequency. Generally speaking, the lower frequencies tend to be picked up and recognized through the larger muscle groups in the body. The higher frequencies are recognized and picked up by the smaller muscle groups in the body. So keep that in mind. And then I want to talk about our newest series, which is our chakra series. And this is just absolutely wonderful. And again, they're sorted oldest to newest, but this is the order that we release them: root, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. And then we've got a journey from root to crown, which is all 7 of them stacked together from root to crown, and then all 7 of them stacked together from crown to root. I talked a little bit about this last week. These tracks are fire. I mean, just absolutely fire. They are absolutely fantastic. We've got a lot of great feedback in our Telegram user group on these particular tracks. I highly, highly recommend these tracks. They're fantastic on the cushion. They're great on the sound lounge. And these tracks, it's an hour and 20 minutes, and it's a journey through every single one of these chakra tracks from start to finish. The next 2 tracks that are going to come out are going to be 22-minute chakra balancing tracks. So we're going to move through them a lot faster, and we're going to go from root to crown and then from crown to root. So there's some exciting things that are coming on that front. And then, of course, our most recent release, and that is Abundance. And if you have not listened to Abundance, I highly, highly, highly recommend this track. It is absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to close with this. I love this track. It's one of my favorites, and I really think you're going to enjoy the new direction where this is going. I highly recommend setting an intention prior to your session and welcoming in that abundance. A lot of people in our community are doing this track every morning as part of a 30-day track towards abundance. And you're going to start to see us doing a lot more of that. This is the beginning of our life experience or journey through life that we're calling this new series, which we're in the process of releasing. So over the next, I think it's over the next 8 weeks, we're going to have another 6 or 10 tracks that are going to be released in this particular series, something that we are unbelievably excited about. Anthony and Gloria are actually driving to Austin as we speak, and they are getting ready to move to Austin for a few months. So if you're in Austin and you want to link up with Anthony and hear about the music that we're creating and all the great things that we're doing, now is a wonderful time to do that. So I just noticed that there's a whole bunch of comments, and I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you. We're already pushing 30 minutes. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Subscribe, click the notifications, click the little bell so that you hear when we go live. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of what we're building and what we're doing. It's all because of you, and we are eternally grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.